All right, so welcome. Really great to have you here this evening. I'm looking forward to the experience we're going to share this evening. Thank you for bringing your sincerity and your open mind and your open heart to this process. So, I want to start tonight by talking just for a moment about viewing, about seeing. There's two different ways to see the world. There's two different ways to see our experience, and hoping to make this clear to you, and then we can practice tonight. So one way is passive seeing, passive viewing. This is what most of us are doing most of the time. We think that the eyes are only for taking in information. So we give our attention to something and we're taking in whatever the information is. So a great example of this is just, watching TV. Watching TV is passive viewing, where the mind kind of goes into neutral, and there's just this kind of taking in that takes place. We're taking in the show, we're taking in the information, we're taking in the entertainment, whatever it happens to be. So what's very important to understand is that when we're viewing passively, we are we're connecting to whatever we're looking at, and we're receiving the vibration that of whatever it is that we're looking at. Say that you're watching a really scary movie, some slasher movie or something. I don't watch those. Images stay for long periods of time in my head, so I have to be very careful what I watch. But say you're watching a very scary movie, and we're just in this passive viewing mode, taking in the scary energy, right? And that will stay, that scary energy, that scary vibration that we've taken in through our passive viewing will stay in our system. And it will influence how we feel very subtly, probably not perceptively to most people, will influence how we feel about ourselves and feel about our world. So another example of this is spending lots of time watching news feeds, Facebook posts about scary stuff, heavy stuff, difficult stuff, painful stuff, unrest in the world and COVID and all that kind of stuff. And whereas it's super important to be informed and to educate ourselves about what's going on in the world, if we stay for long periods of time in this passive viewing mode, we're attuning to the vibration of what we're watching. Even without knowing it, we're attuning to the vibration of what we're watching, and that vibration will get in our system, will get stuck in our system, and can affect what we think about, how we see the rest of the world, what we project onto the world, the stories that are in our mind about life and about experience and about us and about the world. All of that will be dramatically influenced by the vibration of what we're watching when we're doing it in a very passive mode. So it's good to be aware, conscious of, and even more intentional in your choice about what you're watching and how much you're watching, and the mode that you're watching in. If it's passive viewing and you're not going to really work with this active viewing we're going to talk about in a moment, then it's very important that you kind of are selective, or at least are aware of the vibration of what you're watching, because you're taking it in when you're watching it in passive viewing. All right. I think you get the idea. Now, active viewing is something very different. Here's where we're aware, and we're aware that we're aware of what we're watching. It's intentional, intentional seeing or intentional viewing. We're doing it for a reason, for a purpose. Now, this is a very different experience, because when we're intentionally viewing something, not only are we receiving information from what we're looking at, we're exploring what we're looking at, listening, taking in information, we're also giving something to. Now, this is different than passive viewing. In passive viewing, there is no giving to. So to understand this, think of your baby being very small, and it's in a bassinet and it's sleeping, and you're just like looking at that baby. And it's not just passive. You may not be aware that you're aware, but there is this profound love that is just screaming out of you to the baby. That's active viewing. Active viewing is when we're extending something to what's being seen. There's an intention behind it, right? So we're going to practice active viewing tonight because it's something that I really want to encourage you to cultivate in your life. The more we align with our souls, the more intentional is our viewing. The soul has been called the witness self, right? And I love, many of you that hang out with me know I love this Adyashanti quote. It goes like this: the enlightened sage abides as the eternal witness, wholly unconcerned, yet intimately engaged. That combination, wholly unconcerned, yet intimately engaged, is a beautiful a description for active viewing. We're present, we're engaged, there isn't an identification, there's not an attachment to an outcome, there is an intention or a purpose for our viewing, as we'll experience here in a moment. So, what we want to do when we come to meditation is we want to become actively engaged in witnessing experience. Our own experience or the experience of the world. When we meditate, we learn how to watch. And then when we go out in the world, we engage that skill in actively viewing, actively watching for the benefit of what we're seeing. So let's move into this practice. Now, I want to just say that tonight we're going to be working with the Gayatri Mantra in the middle of the meditation. And it'll become clear to you why. Most of you, I think, that are here tonight have some kind of familiarity with the Gayatri Mantra. I want to just, in preparation for using the Gayatri Mantra tonight, I want to just look at pronunciation real fast so that we don't have to do this in the middle of our meditation. The Gayatri Mantra is a profoundly powerful mantra. It is considered by many mantra experts to be the mother of all mantras. It aligns us with the descending light of spirit. It invokes the descending light of spirit into every aspect of our being and brings all those aspects of the being into alignment with spirit. It's a very, very powerful mantra. And those of you that have been doing this class with me on Wednesday nights know that we use it quite a bit. I use it as an introduction. We used to say it every night at the closing of our meditation group. A whole mala of it took about 15 minutes. And it really affects consciousness in a very positive way. And I'll speak more to that later. So just for the sake of those of you that may not be familiar with the mantra, instead of emphasizing how to pronounce it later, let's just take a moment and look at it now. Om Bu Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Savitur Varenyam Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Now, there are slightly different versions of the Gayatri Mantra that are out there. So if you have learned one that's just slightly different than that, that's totally fine. I invite you to either do the one you're familiar with or this one, since it'll be up on the screen. Om Bu Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Savitur Varenyam Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. One more time. Om Bu Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Savitur Varenyam Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. All right. So halfway through the meditation, we're going to engage in using this. We're not going to do a whole mala, but we're going to use it for a bit. And I want to teach you a unique way of concentrating as you say the Gayatri Mantra, which really enhances the sense of bringing the light down. It's so important right now. The world is in such a dark condition. When I mean dark, I mean like heavy, like dark, low vibration, low kind of consciousness. It's a consciousness of fear and unrest and anxiety and pessimism. That's kind of it. You can see it on the planet. It erupts into behavior in ways that are destructive for ourselves and others. So to call down the light is a very, very powerful thing. When I say call down, I mean the divine light is pouring out on all beings as the sun shines on all beings. The mantra, or our intention, and then really enhanced by the mantra, opens ourselves to receive the divine light into every aspect of the being, all the dimensions of our being, physically, emotionally, mentally, all the chakra systems, our aura, all of it. So it's a very important and very, very helpful, especially right now. I would encourage you to use as often as you can the Gayatri Mantra in your meditations. And tonight we're going to discover, not only will we use the Gayatri Mantra to call light down into our own experience, but we'll use the Gayatri Mantra to call light down into human consciousness, into planetary consciousness, so that it can be of great benefit to everyone right now. Okay, so let's move into some meditation together. As we do, find a posture that's upright and yet relaxed. Something where you can have the feeling that you're sitting straight up and down. Ideally, as I've sometimes mentioned, we're looking for an alignment between the crown chakra and the root chakra. You know, like you could drop a plumb line down from the crown chakra and it intersects the root chakra. So let's begin to bring our attention in from the outer world, where most of the day we've been passively viewing. And let's activate active viewing as we begin to turn our attention within. What does that mean? So active viewing is just being aware that you are witnessing or viewing or watching, and you're doing it with an intention. So like right now, let's practice being actively aware of our physical body, which is to say you notice the various sensations in the body. Kind of scan your awareness through the body. Not only are you picking up information as you watch, but also have this intention: let everything that I see be nurtured. Let everything I see be blessed. Let everything I see be nourished by the light of my attention, by the light of my awareness. So it's very important for you to understand that awareness, as we're using the word, is not a function of the mind. Awareness is a function of the soul, the higher self. The soul is consciousness. It is the consciousness and life force that operates these body minds. It is the eternal witness. So know, as you shift into active viewing or active witnessing, know that you're watching, you are aware from this very high vibration, this very high reality. And one way to kind of experience this is to think that what you're seeing, it's like you're seeing with a flashlight or a spotlight, so that there is light flowing to what you're seeing. If you shined a flashlight on something in a dark garage, like a box, that box would be flooded with light and you would be able to see it and know what it was. So, for instance, shine the light of your awareness on your physical beating heart organ. So, on the one hand, you may be picking up information. I can or cannot feel the heartbeat, but I know that my attention is located here just slightly to the left side of the center of my chest. But now think, I am flooding this heart organ with life energy, with healing energy. I am nourishing this heart organ with the light of awareness. So you are literally connecting the power of your soul, this mysterious higher self, that it is a unique expression of the divine that's present in you in the depths of your heart. You are viewing your heart organ with the power, the life giving power of your soul. See if you can find anything else in the body that's hurting. Perhaps you're a little sore somewhere. Perhaps your back is hurting. Maybe you have a slight headache. Maybe there's some tension in your shoulders. There may be some chronic pain somewhere in your body. Turn to that pain as though you were looking from the compassion of your soul. You look at that pain with an intention, not just seeing it passively. Oh, there's that pain. Oh, really hate that. Wish it would go away. Not that. Flooding that pain with loving kindness and compassion that comes from your higher self. And you don't have to keep thinking, oh, this is coming from my higher self. Just view it with that intention. So we'll keep using the phrase, shining the light of your awareness on it. That's what we mean. When you are intentionally shining the light of awareness on something, you're in the active viewing mode. And not only are you taking in information about what you're viewing, but you're flooding it with loving kindness, with grace, with power, nurturing and nourishing what you're viewing. So now let's take this active viewing from the physical level to the emotional level. And can you find some emotion that you might normally turn away from? It might be a little uncomfortable. There's some anxiety. That's a big one for most everyone right now that's in touch with what's happening in the world. Anxiety is thick in human consciousness. Anxiety, unrest, restlessness, frustration, discontent, even despair. Can you find some of those energies in yourself. And when you do, connect to those energies with active viewing, with active, intentional awareness. Which is to say, oh, yes, there's this anxiety. I can feel it as a heaviness in my chest. So you've located it with your awareness. You're aware that it is an energy that we call anxiety. You want to explore it with curiosity and acceptance. And simultaneously, you're pouring a sense of light into it, a sense of love into it. Love is the great healer. Love is the nature of your higher self. So as you view your anxiety intentionally, you're flooding it with the light of awareness. Or to use a different word synonymous to awareness, you're flooding it with the light of love. Just let that be your intention. You may notice as you're watching with this higher awareness in this active kind of way, you may become intuitively aware that some of the energies that you're carrying don't belong to you. They're not yours. They're not your personal energies. You pick them up. You may have picked them up from people that you're close to. You may have picked up more than you might want to admit from all the passive viewing of kind of the fearful expressions of what's happening in the world that are on the news and so forth. There may be quite a bit of that energy that you've absorbed through passive viewing. No criticism. It's not a problem. We're just learning how to do this. Now, whatever energies you find, wherever they come from, just shine the light of awareness on them, to shine the light of love on them. And this is extremely important. As you shine the light of love on these painful energies, understand, do your best to realize, I am this light of love. I am not the anxiety. I am not the despair. These are energies that I'm experiencing in my system. These are patterns of energy. I might be very familiar with them, but they're not what I am. What I am is the light of awareness and love. I am the soul. I am the light divine. Do you remember that mantra, that invocation? I am the soul. I am the light divine. I am love. I am will. I am fixed design. Now, through this active awareness, this intentional awareness, we are learning to connect the power, the transforming, healing power of the soul to everything in our system that's afraid, that feels separate, that feels unworthy, that feels despairing, that feels hopeless. We're flooding the personality self with the light of loving kindness and infusing into the personality through this method a sense of the presence of the higher self. And more you practice identifying with what is watching rather than being kind of passively lost in what's being watched. I'm going to say that again. That's super important. In the practice, we come more and more to identify with what's watching rather than identifying with what's being watched. So we do this at a physical level, emotional level, and also a mental level. So we shine the light of awareness into the mind and notice the thoughts that are going through it, patterns of thinking, stories and interpretations that get projected out onto the world. And we can see as we watch how these projections, these stories and interpretations projected out onto the world create so much of our suffering. They so powerfully influence our experience. But we're not just passively viewing the activity of the mind. With active awareness, we're infusing a very high vibration, intelligence, loving kindness, grace into the mind itself. It comes directly in from the soul as we point the light of active awareness into the mind. Everything that is being seen with active awareness is being saturated in love. Even the patterns we find in the mind of self criticism, self loathing, self judgment, self punishment, those patterns might be in the personality system, but we're watching it with this profound energy of acceptance and love. Remember that this active awareness is a function of the higher self. And therefore, we're literally connecting this higher consciousness, this extension of divine consciousness. We're connecting that to all aspects of our personality experience. And over time, it has this incredible healing and transforming effect. We no longer feel so lost in our emotional states, so lost in our kind of pessimistic stories about life. There's a greater sense of peace that begins to come over us, a greater tolerance for what's happening in the world, a greater response of compassion for what we're seeing through active awareness. So we've been talking about the light of awareness or the light of love. Because as we come to be more familiar with this experience, it literally internally feels like a flow of light. Like this awareness is shining light into the personality self to heal it and transform it, and ennoble it and lift it, so that the personality self can become an open and receptive instrument to the descent of the soul, the way that the soul wants to operate through the personality self in the world. So then there's another way to cultivate this sense of the flow of light, the light of love, the light of awareness, the light of grace. And that is to begin to visualize from high above the head that there is a stream of light coming down. This light comes down like light shining from the sun. It comes down from the highest dimension of divine consciousness. We call this the descending light of spirit. Now, the light of the soul is an aspect of this. Now we're calling it down in its fullness through the visualization of just opening ourselves and making ourselves receptive to this profound beam of light that comes down, this descending light of spirit that comes down. It enters the crown of the head, moves through, purifies, activates, aligns all the chakras, flows into all aspects of the body, the physical body, but also the emotional and mental bodies. So it pours into our energy field, our aura. And then, this is very important, we visualize the light shining from high above, pouring into all of our systems, every level of the being, and then continuing to pour down through us and into the earth, clear down to the core of the earth, down to the heart of Mother Earth. Now, some of you have been practicing this, you'll feel the reality of this. Other of you, it may be new. Just visualize it. If you don't see it or feel it, visualize it. That your body and energy field is now suspended, held in this beautiful shaft of light, brilliant golden light. From high above and also extending deeply below you into the core of the earth. We are, through this visualization, intentionally grounding the descending light of spirit onto the planet. Now, this is where we're going to begin to use the Gayatri. The Gayatri Mantra invokes, facilitates the descending light of spirit. It opens our experience, it opens our minds, our perception to the descending light of spirit, which is a profoundly subtle vibration, very refined vibration. We use the mantra to invoke it, to invite it, because it is universal law that even though divine grace is always pouring out to us, we have to ask for it. We have to open to receive it in order to benefit from it. So if you feel so inclined, invite the descending light of spirit to have its way with you, to touch and transform and heal and awaken all aspects of your being, to align all aspects of your being with the light of spirit. And we'll hold that intention. We'll use the mantra for a bit here to invite and invoke, to align the personality self with the descending light of spirit. Just think that every time you repeat the mantra, we're inviting and invoking, opening yourself to the descending light of spirit down into all aspects of the being. Let's say it together a bit. Om Bu Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Savitur Varenyam. Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Om Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Savitur Varenyam. Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Om Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Savitur Varenyam. Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Again, every repetition of the mantra is a greater opening to the descending light of spirit. Om Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Savitur Varenyam. Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Om Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Savitur Varenyam. Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo Yonaha Prachodayat. So, for those of you that are not familiar with this, just keep your eyes closed and listen to me say it. For those of you that know this mantra, I invite you to say it with me silently inside of yourself so that we can concentrate on this visualization of light coming down from high above the head, holding the entire system and penetrating down to the core of the earth as we say the mantra together. I'll say it out loud. The rest, I would ask you to just do it silently within yourself or just listen. But keep this visualization. Om Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Savitur Varenyam. Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Om Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Savitur Varenyam. Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Om Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Savitur Varenyam. Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Om Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Savitur Varenyam. Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Visualize, be open to, feel, receive the descending light of spirit. Om Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Savitur Varenyam. Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Om Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Savitur Varenyam. Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Now, you may be feeling a great deal of receptivity and peace and love and bliss, and you may be feeling none of that. You may be feeling resistance, ready to move on, ready to be done. Or you may be feeling that there is some aspect of your discomfort, your anxiety that's even amped up more. And so this is all the result of this descending light of grace that stirs to the surface everything that needs to be saturated in love and dissolved away. It will often bring up to our awareness that which needs to be seen with active awareness, right? Loved, infused with light in order to be released. So just know that with every repetition of the mantra, there is this descending light of grace into your system. And it's doing exactly what you need, even if for the moment it's a little uncomfortable. Let's continue. Om Bhu Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Savitur Varinyam. Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yanaha Prachodayat. Om Bhu Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Savitur Varinyam. Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yanaha Prachodayat. Om Bhu Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Savitur Varinyam. Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yanaha Prachodayat. Om Bhu Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Savitur Varinyam. Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yanaha Prachodayat. Now just continue to think the light is coming through and grounding down into the core of the planet. This is very important. You are, if you choose to be, a bridge between this descending light and the planet itself, grounding the light of spirit onto the planet in a way that it will flow to the needs of the planet. So it's very helpful to know that this grounding process not only benefits you, but it's of great benefit to all beings. That's more than just words. And so to facilitate that sense of it flowing down and through, I invite you to use the Gayatri Mantra in this kind of special way, in this kind of unique way, in a way that you may not have tried before. Let's say that. We're going to visualize yourself in 4 different sections, from the head up to the source of the light, from the crown chakra down to the bottom of your sternum so that it includes all these upper chakras, and then from the bottom of your sternum down to below your root chakra. That's the 3rd area. And then from below the body all the way down to the core of the earth. These 4 sections: above the head to below the sternum, from solar plexus down to the bottom of the body, and then from the bottom of the body clear down into the center of the earth. Can you visualize those 4 sections? Then we're going to speak the mantra into those 4 sections. There's 4 lines to the mantra, and we're going to use those 4 lines in those 4 different sections. So imagining light streaming down to the head will be Om Bhu Bhuvaha Swaha. And then you'll concentrate in the upper chakras, Om Tat Savitur Varinyam. And then from the upper chakras down through the lower chakras, Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi. And then as we say the last line, we sense, feel, visualize the light continuing to pour down into the earth. Dhiyo Yanaha Prachodayat. Very important that we bring the light all the way down into our lower chakras and that we ground it into the planet. So above the head, Om Bhu Bhuvaha Swaha. In the upper part of the body, Om Tat Savitur Varinyam. The lower part of the body, Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi. And then from below the body down to the core of the earth, Dhiyo Yanaha Prachodayat. So as I keep saying the mantra, keep concentrating on those 4 sections. Om Bhu Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Savitur Varinyam. Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yanaha Prachodayat. Om Bhu Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargodevasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. And on that last line, just really feel the light pouring through down into the planet. Om Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargodevasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. So just this continual downward sense of light flowing down. Om Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargodevasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Om Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargodevasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Om Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargodevasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Om Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargodevasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Om Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargodevasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Om Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargodevasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. I just keep visualizing this light pouring through and understand this. Just like the light of the soul penetrates into all the systems of this unique body mind that you have a name for, you call yourself. Just like the light of the soul penetrates down into all the systems of the personality self, blessing them, healing them, transforming them, enlightening them. So this descending light of spirit flows into all the systems of the planet, to all beings, healing, bringing into balance, transforming, inspiring, enlightening. Just have a sense that you are a bridge for this, a channel for this. That the divine light of spirit is flowing through you and in the world in just the way it's needed, flowing to all areas of unrest, flowing to all areas of sickness, all areas of grief and despair, flowing to all areas of inequality and injustice. Just be the channel for this. Be completely open. This, of course, is your choice to be the channel for this, but it's an unspeakable privilege. Out into the world. There is no limit to the power of this light. So it pours through you and it pours through us, these 19 or 20 of us tonight that are doing this together. It pours through us and into the world, to everyone that we're connected to, all of our loved ones, all of our family members, everyone that we're associated with, everyone we have any kind of connection with. It flows to them and out beyond that into the world, to the human family, to the animal family, to the vegetable and mineral family, to all expressions of life that the planet is This light flows to that as power, as healing, as grace, as love, as wisdom, as inspiration, as transformation. Now, let the light just continue to flow through you, but center your awareness in your heart center, center of your chest. And just center again in this sense of active awareness. And notice to see if the practice, the mantra, the light has enhanced your sense of being awake aware, of being awareness. As you sense yourself to be this light of awareness, feel how expansive you feel, wide, enhanced, alive, full of compassion, engaged in what's happening in the world, but from the perspective of love and healing, global transformation, not from fear, not from criticism. And I invite you to just verbalize this internal affirmation. I am the light of pure awareness and love. I am the light of pure awareness and love. Keep the breath slow and full, refined. There can be a sense of receiving with the inhalation and radiating or extending with the exhalation. Of receiving from above through the crown into the heart and then radiating it out in all directions with the exhalation. I am the light of awareness and love. And I extend this light of awareness and love to everything that I see as I practice active awareness, to every person I see, whether it's like live or it's on the TV or on the computer, whether I just hear about it, everything I become aware of, I practice active awareness and extend the light of love and compassion. So then we'll bring this practice to an end with the Bodhisattva prayer. Just please repeat after me, though the words are on your screen. May all beings be happy and free. May all beings be safe and well. May all beings awaken to their true nature. May all beings live together in peace and harmony. Once again, just from the heart that's wide open to the world, may all beings be happy and free. May all beings be safe and well. May all beings awaken to their true nature. May all beings live together in peace and harmony.